Struggling to remember everything you need to for that big exam or meeting? What if I told you that with just one simple trick, you could memorize anything, whether it's a list of facts, a speech, or even a whole chapter of notes? In this video, I'm going to show you a few brain hacks to unlock your memory's full potential. Stay tuned because we'll also cover one trick that's used by memory champions to memorize entire books. 1. The Memory Palace technique. First up, the Memory Palace. This ancient technique has been used for centuries by memory experts to memorize huge amounts of information. And it's surprisingly simple. Essentially, you take information you need to remember and associate it with familiar locations in your mind. How it works. Imagine a place you know well, like your home. Assign pieces of information to different rooms, furniture, or objects. For example, if you're memorizing a speech, you could place key points on your kitchen counter, desk, and bed. When you need to recall the information, simply walk through your memory palace, retrieving the facts as you encounter them in the rooms you've set up. 2. Chunking, the power of grouping information. Next, let's talk about chunking. Our brains aren't great at remembering random, unconnected bits of info, but we're amazing at remembering groups of related things. This is why phone numbers, credit cards, and dates are often broken down into chunks. It makes them easier to remember. How it works. Break down complex information into smaller, more meaningful chunks. For example, instead of trying to remember 10 random words, group them into categories like colors, animals, or places. Try grouping numbers by thousands or hundreds. Instead of 987, think 1987. The more logical the grouping, the easier it will be to remember. 3. Spaced repetition. The key to long-term memory. Now let's talk about spaced repetition, one of the most powerful memory techniques out there. If you're trying to commit something to long-term memory, simply reviewing it once won't cut it. Your brain needs to encounter the information at strategic intervals to really absorb it. How it works. Start by reviewing information right after learning it. Then review it again a few hours later, the next day, a week later, and then a month later. This technique is perfect for flashcards, apps like Anki or Quizlet, or just writing notes and revisiting them over time. 4. Visualization. Bring information to life. Here's another powerful hack. Visualization. If you can create mental images of what you're trying to remember, you'll retain the information much better. This works because the brain stores pictures more effectively than plain text or numbers. How to use it. Visualize abstract concepts like history facts or scientific theories as colorful, animated scenes in your mind. For example, imagine a historical event as a movie scene playing out in your head, or a difficult math formula as shapes moving around on a whiteboard. The more vivid and unusual your mental images, the stronger your memory will be. The Feynman technique. Teach it to learn it. Finally, let's dive into the Feynman technique, a learning method that not only helps you memorize but also understand concepts deeply. Named after Nobel-winning physicist Richard Feynman, this technique is simple. Teach it to someone else. How it works. Once you learn something, explain it in simple terms as if you're teaching a child. Draw diagrams, use analogies, and break things down. The act of teaching forces you to clarify your understanding and solidify the memory. To recap, here are the best memory hacks to start using today. Memory Palace. Visualize information in familiar spaces. Chunking. Break information into smaller, manageable pieces. Spaced repetition. Review at regular intervals for long-term memory. Visualization. Picture concepts to improve retention. Feynman technique. Teach others to reinforce your learning. If these hacks help you memorize better, Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more brain tips. Share this with a friend who could use a memory boost, and comment below with which technique you'll try first.